Okay, so we are going to read some body language here on Cooper the Frenchie. So first thing we're going to look at are her ears. Cooper, because she's a Frenchie, she has erect ears, so they're a little bit harder to read sometimes. But if you take a look at the ears themselves, you can see, are they pinned back? In this case, no. So if they were pinned back, back flat against her head, that would be a fear response. Hi, Cooper. If they were pointing both directly forward, so if you take a look, Frenchies have these beautiful satellite dish ears. Hi, Cooper. And those ears can move independently of one another to triangulate where a sound is coming from. And if you watch them kind of move from side to side, you can see that. Now, in this case, her ears are just kind of swiveling in whatever direction she hears things, but she is not intently focused on anything. If we were to see both of her ears pointing directly forward and she was staring at something, we would know she was high stimulation. She was either upset about something or fixated on something. And whenever we have kind of that response where we see a dog's ears are super stiff and pointed forward, we know that there could be an issue, just because it means high stimulation, which means that impulse control is kind of out the window. In this case, we're looking good. Those ears are, even though they're erect, they are relaxed. They're not pinned back, which would also be a concern. Now looking at some other parts of her body, Cooper, we're going to look at those eyes. You can see that her eyes and her face, they're all relaxed. When we look at her eyes, we don't see a lot of the whites of her eyes. We are just pretty much seeing her iris and her pupil, which is a good sign. If we were to be seeing a lot of the whites of her eyes, or she was looking at us out of the corner of her eyes, that would tell us that she is displaying something called a whale eye, which is a sign that she is anxious about something. So you want to see, when you look at a dog's eyes, you want to see their iris, you want to see their pupil, but you don't want to see a lot of the whites of their eyes. And if you do, it oftentimes means that they are nervous about something. So you want to pay extra attention. Looking at her body, we can see that she is just kind of puttering along here. She's nice and loose. There's no stiffness in her body. If we were to see that she was stiff, her movements were labored, they looked like they were really measured. Any stiff movement typically indicates that a dog is uncomfortable. So they could be seeing something that makes them nervous. They could be ready to react. They could be fearful. So you want to look at a dog's body and see that it's nice and loose and moving fluidly, which is exactly what's happening here. Cooper! Come on, girl. Come on, Coop. Cooper! Okay, and then let's just watch her a little bit longer. Now, with a Frenchie, unfortunately, as you can see, boop, there's no tail. And it's not a docked tail, it's just how their lack of tail is. So unfortunately, one of the most expressive parts of a dog is their tail. And when you have dogs with either no tail or a docked tail, it can be really hard to read their tail. So we're kind of missing a bit of key information when you have a dog like this. So you have to look at the other parts of her and see what they are doing. Right now, everything is loose, and just take a look at those ears too. Oh my goodness. You can see how they're moving independently of one another. They're not fixated forward on something in particular. So this is a sign that we have a pretty relaxed, content dog. All of her body language checks out in terms of being nice and loose, being nice and relaxed, and that tells us that this is a dog in a good state. Thank you, Cooper. Thank you, Cooper. And when you have a dog that's in a relaxed state and you're going to pet, you're going to start under the chin. Oh, good girl. And then you kind of give a second and see if they come back for more petting. And in this case, she just moved on because her motivation right now is to sniff and look for anything interesting. So it tells me that even though she's relaxed, she didn't lean in for more petting. So I'm just going to let her be. And we know she's in a good mood, and just because she's in a good mood doesn't mean she wants to be petted. And now we have all that data, and we can know we have a happy little pup here. Thank you, Cooper.